Today it's a brand new segment. I'm calling it Baking Blind. Made a mess of it. Oh no. I just found a big blob of butter. Didn't put that away. If you want some expert advice on baking and cooking and all the rest of it, this probably isn't the video for you. I'm legally blind, that's not the issue. The problem is I can't cook. Do you believe me now? I'm not very good. But I'm learning, I'm getting there. First thing though, off to the supermarket, buddy. Gonna make some biscuits. Find right to the door. Find the door. Good boy. Left. Find the counter.
Hello, how are you?
Find the counter. Hi.
How are ya?
Good, thanks. Down you go.
Pardon?
Sorry, I was talking to a guide
You're
dog.
a friend, yes.
Can I get you to get something for me?
Yeah, not a problem. What is it?
500 grams of Western Star
Butter.
regular butter.
The red one? Yeah.
Just the original.
Original? Yeah,
Yeah,
I can
thanks.
do that. Just wait, we have two other guide dogs in training coming into the store now.
Samson.
Yes, and the little black one, I can't remember its name. It's amazing what they can do, isn't it?
Really good.
Really, really amazing. And what's your dog's name?
York, as in the Grand Old Duke.
Yes, sir, that's good. Because we're not allowed to pat them, are we?
No, not supposed
to talk to them neither.
You're supposed to. Thank you. You're supposed to just ignore them.
Yeah.
That way they can concentrate on what they're doing.
What they've got to do.
But he's pretty good.
Yeah. You right with that?
Yep, all
Yeah.
good. Thank you very much.
Have a lovely day.
You too. You've been very helpful.
No, not a problem.
Thanks a lot.
Come in, we'll get anything for you.
No worries. Thank you.
See ya.
All right. Today I'm going to run you through how I make these amazing biscuits. It's an 80-year-old recipe for cornflake biscuits. They're crunchy, they're buttery, they're really easy to make, and they've got sultanas. What more do you need? The first thing that I do is I've got a couple of baking trays here, and I'm going to cover them with baking paper. There it is. I've got some spray oil, which I don't really need with the baking paper, but I spray just a little bit on the tray, which hopefully I sprayed it on the tray, not the bench. That helps me to get the paper to stick and stay in place on the tray. Not sure that's what you're supposed to do, but that's what we're doing. Another bit on this side here. Made a mess of it. Do you believe me now? I'm not very good. All right, next thing I need to measure out some butter. I'll turn the scales on. These are my talking scales.
Hello, it's ready.
Thank you.
46 grams.
I will put the full recipe in the description, but we need 125 grams of butter, 100 grams of sugar, an egg, 150 grams of self-raising flour, a pinch of salt, 50 grams of sultanas, and 70 or 80 grams of cornflakes.
126 grams.
Beautiful. That'll do me.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Turn those scales off. It's going to break up this butter a little bit. Get rid of the big chunks because this is supposed to be at room temperature. So I'm going to chuck it in the microwave for a second. Yeah, tear it up a bit. All right. Okay, got my butter. I'm just going to put it into the microwave. Preheat the oven. Don't preheat the microwave. That's my tip. Being legally blind, I can't see the touch panel on this microwave, but I've got sticky bumps in strategic locations. So I've got a clear button at the bottom left. My time is up the top, minutes, seconds. I'm going to give it 10 seconds and then start on the bottom right. I've got my main mixing bowl now over here, scales there. And I'm going to transfer the butter into the main mixing bowl. Use my fingers to make sure it's all out. There it is. Okay. How many chefs have to let their guide dog out? Okay, hang on, Yorkie. Hang on, mate. Good boy, buddy. York, my guide dog, he knows I can't see him, so he'll go to the back door, and to get my attention, he'll flap his ears. So that's what he did there. It was his cue to say, let me out. All right, so York's outside. Let's get back to what we're doing. Sugar. So I've got my main mixing bowl here. Just need to turn these scales on.
Hello.
Hello. Got the sugar.
It's ready.
I need to spoon in 100 grams of sugar without making a mess.
89 grams.
Getting close.
100 grams.
So I've got my 125 grams of butter, my 100 grams of sugar in the bowl, and the recipe calls for me to mix this until it changes colour, which I can't see it, so I've got no idea, and it goes creamy. So what I do is mix it for about 4 or 5 minutes, and that seems to work. Here we go. Just try to mix it, make sure I don't miss any of the bits of butter, moving it around. No, I think that should be enough. All right, next thing I'm going to do, which I probably could have done earlier. Okay, time to preheat the oven. This is a fan-forced oven, so it heats pretty evenly, and it's pretty easy as well. There's a knob on the right, which I know I need to turn around to 6 o'clock, and the one on the left, I've got a little sticky dot marking 180 degrees. So I just turn the temperature around, line it up with the sticky dot. Good to go. So I'm going to break the egg into this little bowl, just in case there's something wrong with it. Not that there ever is. One bowl. I want to make sure I get it in the bowl. That wouldn't be good. Did I tell you I was a complete beginner with no idea? I don't think any shell went in there. Actually, I'm going to have a feel. No, no shell. All right. When you can't see, you use your hands. Get rid of the eggs. Safest place is back in the fridge. So I've got my bowl here with my mixer still sitting in it. And I'm going to mix this for another minute or so. Now I've got a spatula thing here somewhere. No, it's a spoon. Spatula. And I'm just going to scrape it around the bowl and make sure I've got the mixture all in there, because I can't really see what's... And then give it another mix. And I think we're good to go. So I'm just going to eject those beaters, put the hand mixer off to the side. You don't need to be an expert to make these biscuits. It's a really easy recipe, and they are so good, especially straight out of the oven. Talking scales, bowl goes on the talking scales.
Hello.
Turn it on.
It's ready.
Thank you. Now, the flour is the most dangerous part of this whole thing. If I'm going to make a big mess, it's usually with the flour. So there's my bowl, there's my flour. I've got a spoon, and I'm going to spoon in 150 grams of flour.
43 grams.
Just a smidge more. If I can get a bit on there.
148 grams.
Oh, that might be enough. I had a wooden spoon here somewhere. There it is. Goes that way. Now, technical term, I need to fold in the flour to this mixture. So I'm just, and I've been told not to overdo it. You want to leave it a bit fluffy. So I'm just trying not to flick it out of the bowl, trying to mix it through. So I don't want any clumps of flour, but I don't want it over mixed. I think it's coming together. That's better. I'm going to stick my hand in, because otherwise I've got no idea. Oh, that feels good. Earlier on I measured out 50 grams of sultanas, and I'm just breaking them up because I don't want any clumps. Spread that out a bit. Sprinkle in my sultanas. and then mix the sultanas through the mixture. The recipe says add some salt, but there's salt in the butter and I don't think I need more salt. Okay. All right, done. Next. Oh no. I just found a big blob of butter. Oh. One blob of butter didn't make it into the mixture. I hope it still works out. I'm sure it will. So I've just got a dessert spoon and I'm going to just grab a slightly less than golf ball size bit of the mixture. I'm going to roll it into a ball. And I'm going to roll it in these cornflakes, which I measured out earlier. There's about 70 or 80 grams of cornflakes there. Just going to crush them up a little bit. And I'm just rolling my mixture into a ball, throw it into the cornflake mixture, and then it goes on the baking tray about 8 centimeters apart. No need to turn it into a biscuit shape. It will turn into a biscuit shape in the oven. But I'm trying to keep them roughly the same size so that they cook at the same rate. It's the buttery goodness that makes these so good. Oh no, where's the spoon gone? There it is, there it is. So this quantity of mixture, it doesn't make a huge batch of biscuits. It makes more if you manage to get all the ingredients in the bowl and not on the bench, but we're not going too badly. So next, I'll get out my amazing cooking gloves. Let's take my watch off for a second. So these gloves are specially designed for people that are blind or vision impaired for cooking, because you can touch things up to 300 degrees without burning yourself. And when you can't see the oven and you want to put things in the oven, it can be a little tricky. Reach down, see where the tray is, and slide in. Oops. Okay, I've got the Apple Watch, so I'm going to set a timer. Hey Siri, set a timer for 16 minutes.
Okay, 16 minutes and counting.
Timer's gone off, time to get these biscuits out of the oven. If you've been wondering what this is around my neck, that's my GoPro. We'll call it cooking cam at the moment. Open up the oven, let the hot air out, feel around, and okay, so there's that first tray. They smell good. Okay, goes back on top of the stove, and the second tray is to the bottom. Oops, might have bumped that then. That goes up there. Push those trays back in. Now the hardest part with these biscuits is when you get them out of the oven, you need to leave them to cool on the trays for about 10 minutes, they say. And I have tried to do it early. If you try to take them off the trays too early, try to sneak a bite, they go all crumbly and they break up. But if you let them cool for 10 minutes on the tray before putting them on the rack, they're perfect. So we just need to cool our heels for a bit and let them settle down. It's been about 10 minutes. I'm going to try one of these biscuits and see what they're like. So they're still warm, but they've gone hard. That is really good. So there's a little bit crunchy on the top from the cornflakes. Really buttery, and they're just good, and especially straight out of the oven. So there you go. 80-year-old recipe, cornflake biscuits. Can't cook, can't see, but they taste really good.